So today we are going to discuss several things. Me personally, I'm going to discuss energy and several ways that you can use it, and we do use it for our benefit. Um, First, when we ground ourselves, when we meditate, when we seek the connection with our spirit, which connects us to source, we use that energy to focus and to relax and to inhale and exhale and make everything easy, right? And we do that because we have the ability to change our frequency, um, the way we function, how we operate. That is. I'm really excited today. So I've had a lot of things going on for the past 72 hours that caused me to be very excited. And so what you hear is probably a little background noise of me breathing, and that's my energy that I'm trying to contain. I believe it's combustible, so I'm going to just hold on to it. I want to tell you how I believe we're made up, and what we are actually like a huge mass of energy. And as I said before, because we that's why we function on a frequency, because we're a huge mass of energy, or better, a high speed of vibration. And that means that we're always moving. I'm the prime example of high speed of vibration, because I never rest really, and that's the law of vibration. I think I am the epitome of the law of vibration. I cause things to move because I became aware that that's a power. That's something that I've learned to develop and can teach you. This team, the Waymakers, we can teach you to further develop your intellect to maximize your energy experience, right? So, manipulation. Before I give up the microphone, I want to speak briefly and open the door on manipulation. When we say that word, I'll just ask Milan. Milan, does that word have a negative connotation?
It used to,
Mm.
before, I remember one of our first conversations and you mentioned that, and I was like, no, no, I don't like that word. And you were like, well, how do you interpret it? And that made all the difference in the world. Because
Mm.
now I understand that it's not the manipulation of people, it's the
Mm.
manipulation of the energy around.
Mm.
Or, like people say, the vibe. What's the vibe in here? And being able to control yours and knowing the
Mm.
vibe of other things is really helpful.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Mariposa, what about you?
Yeah, to me, my previous experience of manipulation has not been a good one. But when I do think about like when you go to the chiropractor, right? What are they doing to you? They're manipulating your body and they're like aligning you.
My favorite place. It's my favorite place other than my office, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it could mean either whatever meaning you give it is what it'll
Hmm.
be. So
Mhm.
That's interesting. Ryan?
Yeah, really, it's all about your perspective on it. The way I see it is, if you're manipulating energy, you're changing the energy, especially if you can change it in your favor. You find the positives in everything, and it's not really a negative connotation if you look at it that way.
Yeah, and so such is life, right?
Say la vie, such is life.
You you set your intentions, and if they're correct, when you're manipulating energy, it's natural. I think we need to normalize speaking about it in a way that people understand it. Like I understood everything the three of you said, and I also understand that when we're manifesting, we're actually in the act of manipulating energy. We think it, we say it, we plan action steps for it. I mean, it's easy, yet we make it difficult. So I'm gonna ask Mariposa to speak about what we give our attention to and everything else that you have in store for us.
Yeah. Yeah, energy. So I remember in school, right? They said, when I remember the study of the atoms, like everything is energy. And us as people, we're energy. And everything, this pen is energy and it's moving. It's always moving. Nothing is really ever constant. Nothing is actually like hardened. Everything is moving all the time. And this is the energy, right? So everything is energy and energy flows to and through us as well. So when we're thinking about energy, this quote always comes to my mind and it says, energy flows where our attention goes. So
Mm,
when we're thinking, whatever we're thinking about, we are narrowing down all this energy that we have and we're focusing it on one thing. And so when I think about manipulation, like I that as a way to change the energy in a different way, so in a way that serves me
mhm.
better than it has in the past. Because most people by default, we tend to think about the past and we tend to think about the things that we don't like, the things that are going wrong in our life, and we give that attention.
And what happens when you do that?
You get more of the same.
Just some more.
It's more of the same.
It's crazy, right? It's like, okay.
And this is a whole repeat cycle of
Hmm.
you're in the same. So yesterday I was reading a book called The Coin of Heaven by Neville Goddard, and
Hmm.
it was just such an eye opener. It just made everything make more sense to me. And that is like we all in life are on this track. We lay down the tracks that we will walk on and the course that we take in our life through our thoughts,
Little do we know.
you
Right.
know?
Right.
So if you want to change your trajectory, the way your life is going in the direction that it's moving, you have to change your energy thoughts. Where are your thoughts going? So you almost have to be, we talked about this Friday, right? Is
Hmm.
becoming aware of where you are in your thought mind process and to change it. If you don't like it, like we have the opportunity to change it in an instant. Okay, I'm going this way. No, I don't want to go that way. I'm going to switch and I'm going to start going this way. We
Hmm.
can correct and lay down new tracks in our
Should we
thought,
focus?
Mm.
right? So Bob always talked about if you have a problems focusing, stare at a candle light flame. And
Hmm.
that'll really help to bring down your thoughts to one thing, right? Because I think
It works so well for me too.
it's
Thank
hard
you for
to
sharing.
yeah, it's hard to control our thoughts because we're like if you are like me, I can think of a million things in 1 second. Like my
Hmm.
mind is going everywhere, right? I
For
gotta do this, I
sure.
gotta do that, da, 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 da. But when we can focus, and that's what meditation does, it brings down all this thoughts that we have floating around. It just really calms it down. So staring at that light right now is like so relaxing. It's like,
Hmm. Hmm. And this is a really good way to, like you said, collect your energy and to find that balance. And for me, I'm like that ball in the pinball machine. Yeah. So this really works wonders for me. Yeah. I love it.
yeah. Milan, come through with your thoughts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, a really big part of energy is your perception of it. And especially if you have goals, especially if you're new into the manifesting world or just want to manifest. They say the best time to start is when you're finished. And really what that means is like once you have a clear idea of the direction, then it's just so much easier to get there because right away anyway the things that won't get you there. Like if you want to get a degree in college, the thing that won't get you there is never applying to the college. Like there's certain steps that just reveal themselves once you have a vision and you know where you're going. It's a lot of people talk about uh our lives as being on a train or being on some type of vessel, but really I like the one where it's being the captain of your own ship, because every captain can go from port to port to port, but not until he decides where he's going first, and you can only go to one port at a time. So keeping your mind focused on that, having that clear vision of something that just excites you too, not just something that just like, oh, that would seem nice. That's probably not
Mhm.
really gonna motivate you like day in and day out.
Mhm.
But really things that move you and excite you. And whether it's Neville Goddard or it's us or it's Bob Proctor
All the above.
or all of the above,
Mhm.
then but we're all focused on specific goals, and really having that specificity like has allowed all of us, and allows everyone watching that your life will really be yours. Having the specific vision of things that excite you specifically
Mhm.
allows you to really like feel like, yes, this is my life. I'm not just like going along with what everybody's doing, and doing
You're
that with,
creating. You begin to
yeah,
create.
you're
Mhm.
creating, and the energy that you feel, the energy that's around you, then it allows you to steer it in different directions, just like the captain of a ship.
Right.
And
So
Yeah.
that,
you said
exactly.
visualize. You have to visualize. You have to visualize. And I did, and I do. And I see me in my mind looking at me manipulating energy, right? Even manifesting through the visualization, right? I mean, exactly at the same instance that you're speaking the words, it's happening. And that's our power. I love that you said that. That makes me feel really good. And pardon the interruption.
That is the whole power of manifesting, right? What is
Mhm.
manifest? We hear this over and over. I didn't really understand it until I started getting into this material. But manifesting is when you're manifesting, you're using your higher faculties, right? That Bob taught us. So using your will. What is your will? The will to focus on one thought at a time, one thing at a time. And we think in images. So when you think of a word, like say you're a dog or a cat, the first thing that pops in is a picture of your dog or your cat or somebody else's dog or cat, right? And so we think in images. So when we create an image of us at our end state, that thing that you want, whatever it is, if it's a bigger house, a better relationship, a business partner, a business, a job, a career, whatever it is, right? You got to first see it in your mind,
Yes.
feel it, right? Neville says you got to have the feeling. So you see yourself, you feel yourself at the end, and then you create a scene. So you could create a scene of you, like, let's say you want to graduate from college. So you see yourself walking across the stage in your gown, you're looking down at the gown, you're going to collect your degree paper, and you walk across the stage and you're like, oh, I did it, right? Oh, so excited, right, that you did it. And that's like the image that you want to hold when you visualize. So meditation and visualization are so powerful when you do them together. Like when you just sit down and you calm your energy, right? You're just focusing on that one thing, right? And you feel it and you see yourself and you and you feel it. Like in your mind, you're like replaying that scene. And if you can hold on
Mhm.
to that, then of course we know that by law of opposite, Bob calls it the terror barrier. The opposite is going to show up, right? All the fears and the doubts and the how-tos. Well,
And the
I don't have the
distraction.
money. I'm too old. I'm too young. I missed, whatever. And you cut yourself off from your dream.
Hmm.
Like you literally stop yourself from even feeling that energy, and then you go right back to where you were before, which is not believing that you can do it, and you stay stuck.
The
So you,
good thing though is, revealing that to people now lets them know that you're not doing something wrong if don't feel like, oh, 100% possible and I totally believe, right away. But it's just a
Right.
part of the step is like, after you visualize, the opposite will show up. Okay. You keep visualizing and it strengthens you. But knowing that going into it, I think will let people just be more at ease with it, because that's one of the aspects as well is being relaxed and not trying to force it, but just being relaxed and knowing that, hey, things might get a little shaky right after I make this decision is something that has calmed me down in situations even now, but knowing that that's a part of the process of manifesting is, it's not just, oh, I make a decision and then it shows up. You know, you don't plant the seed and then the tree grows to 50 feet in a day.
I
Um,
love it.
it
Yeah,
takes some work.
Gestation period. Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. It's like when you go to the gym, right? Let's say you want to lift 200 pounds on a squat or whatever, and if you're not doing it now, but you know you want to, you know you can because you see other people doing it. So you're gonna go every day or however, whenever you go, and you start with something lower and you work your way up, but you're constantly in the gym,
Yes.
constantly lift. You have to get that memory in the muscle, right?
Yeah,
So
build those techniques.
build the techniques in the body and the mind, and you keep
Mhm.
visualizing, you hold that vision, and before you know it, it could be, I don't know, a month or two, you're going to be lifting that 200 pounds. But you got to be committed and you got to be persistent, and you got to keep practicing every day. And this is why visualization meditation every day is so important. You know, one of the first things we do when I wake up is, yeah, I flex my muscles. No, I'm kidding.
Right on, because we love it,
I,
right? We did that on purpose. We did.
I visualize myself in my end state, and I actually have alarms going off in my phone to like visualize, and I take a few
Mhm. Because it's a
30
constant.
seconds.
I
Yeah,
apologize.
no, go ahead.
It's a constant. It's a constant, like, thing that you do on repeat because it serves you well. It's like a reboot. Every day for me, I can start all over with a new dream in my head, and I may set the date for having it completed 2024,
Mhm.
and I can build up until then. Ryan,
Yes.
hi. How
Yeah,
are you?
I'm good.
Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Right.
I think everything goes full circle, to the where your attention goes, your energy flows. And back to like Milan, you're talking about college, and Mariposa. Even with the gym example, the worst part is if you tell yourself that you cannot. Like if you tell yourself, "Oh, I'm too old to go to college," or "Oh, I'll never be able to lift that much weight," that your attention is going to the negative or where you are now slash the past. So you'll never move forward if you're only thinking that you can't do it versus visualizing the end goal and what you desire and want. So the importance of having your energy go to the right place towards your goals, towards positivity is of great importance compared to telling yourself that you can't do something. Because once you tell yourself you can't do something, I heard a quote one time. It's like the people that say they can do something, the people that say they can't do something, are both usually right. So uh,
Right.
it's
Absolutely.
you have to have that energy in the right place.
Yeah, if you tell yourself you can't, you won't.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times we blame external forces. Well, I can't do because of this reason, or because of that person, or because of this, or because of, they point
That's
to
a poor
all
paradigm,
those
right?
reasons. Yeah, but really in reality, it's the self that's limiting. I
Mm-hmm.
limited myself in so many ways. I was just talking about this last night. It's like we get from childhood and through adulthood too, we put on like these blinders and we think like there's only one way to do things. There's
Where do we
only
get
one
that?
way. We get that from our parents. We get that from um, we get that
It's,
from school, the school
so, so
system.
it's a poor paradigm that is consistently placed here in front of us, right?
Hmm.
How did you change that?
I
If you
had
can,
I had to become aware. Welcome, Jenna. I had to be.
uh,
Hi. We're glad you're
Hi,
okay.
thank you.
Welcome.
here.
Thanks. Sorry I'm late. I had to get through security. I'm at the airport traveling.
Yes, beautiful.
Yay.
Waymakers on the go today.
Yes, Waymakers on the go. And
Right.
where are you, Jenna?
I am actually in Portland, Maine, and going to New York.
Hmm. And is this the fourth leg of your trip?
Fourth. Yeah, fourth.
Got it. So Mariposa is in the middle of sharing, and when she's finished, we'd love to hear
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. So we're talking about energy, and we were talking about how we keep repeating the same thoughts and patterns, and until we become aware. So the way I changed is I became aware. of my programs. And the way that I did that is I started in the 12 steps, because I'm a recovering codependent, a people pleaser, that kind of thing. So in that 12 steps, we take inventory and we look at pretty much all the stuff, right, that we don't like, things that have happened over life. And I saw this, you get to see these patterns. And I was like, wow, my pattern is that I keep attracting narcissistic people into my life, and then I do and cater to all their needs because I'm a people pleaser, right? So I'm like, so I started to, when I became aware that that was my program and my
Programming.
pattern,
Yeah.
yeah, I started to ask myself, okay, why? Why do I attract? Why? So then I started looking at the early development of my childhood, and I'm like, oh, well, that's why.
Whoa.
And then I just like, I'm changing that because that's
Mhm.
not, I don't want that in my life anymore. I want to attract healthy, I want to be healthy. I want to have healthy people around me. And so
Was it
that's,
a "Who am I really" moment when you became aware?
yeah, I
Like,
said,
why
well,
didn't? Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
just
That's so
created a
good.
whole new Celine. Like I created a
The
whole new,
real you,
yeah,
right?
what I wanted. I
By
broke out my
design.
goals. Right. I designed my life.
Yeah.
And right when I decided to leave my corporate job, that's when everything was just like, I'm just done with that. And I'm just going to go after what I do love. And what I want to
Love
do
it.
is teach this. And I got into
So
body
glad you did
positivity.
that.
Yeah, it's like transformational for me and to change it. It's not hard. It wasn't hard. It was just becoming aware. That
Hmm.
was where I started, is the awareness piece. And this is why it's so important to take a look at our lives and say, okay, where am I on repeat?
Mm.
What are the things that I don't like? Because that's when you realize what you do want. Because you don't like that means the opposite. You want something better.
And how many times can you do that? Every day,
Over and
if you
over
want.
every day, multiple
Yeah.
times a day.
Multiple times a day.
You can, right? You can change your mind for the better. You don't need anyone's permission to do that, right?
No.
Exactly.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. Jenna, please.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. We just want
Good.
to
Well,
hear
I'm
you
sorry to,
speak. That's all.
yeah, I'm sorry to be late, but I'm sitting in an airport that plays jazz, so that's nice. Jazz in the
Mm.
morning.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I was
Wonderful.
just looking, I just got to hear Mariposa. I didn't get to hear the opening of the session, but Mariposa, that's so beautiful, and it's so exciting. It's something we were talking about the other day, in our group when we're working together about how all of us have patterns and we have triggers, and that part of what we're teaching here about being awake and aware and really stepping into your own power really is to understand those and to acknowledge and to honor your past and to honor yourself for the journey that you've come on, but that um, we look back at those and now know how to do it better. And this group has been instrumental for me personally, in helping me really be aware of the
Mhm.
commitment I've made to myself and to those people in my life,
Right.
to live awake every day, to be present in the moment, to be
Mhm.
positive, to find joy in every day. And I think that, I don't know if we've started talking about, manifesting, and
Yes.
finding that path to personal joy. But
Hmm.
I truly believe the way that you keep your vibration high is, to rededicate yourself every morning when you wake up,
Hmm.
to that journey, to that purpose, and just to put one foot in front of the other. And I've literally been on a journey these last few weeks, running from state to state of the Eastern Seaboard.
Right.
Um, and it's just been interesting because every time I travel, I have a wonderful time. But this time I just opened myself up, to new experiences and to life. And, it's just amazing what has manifested for me. Yesterday I
Mhm.
spent the entire day, walking on a beautiful beach and eating amazing food. And, I've made a new and wonderful friend. I've You know, it's
And
just
how well do
everything
you
has been
feel?
wonderful.
How
I
well do you
feel
feel?
amazing. Yeah, I feel
Because we
amazing.
feel that energy, right?
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, and you have
love
like
it.
that sense of well-being, you know, that, and I think that that's what I've decided, you know, is to have a sense of well-being. And I was laughing because I think I must have said 20,000 times yesterday, it is so beautiful here. This is such a perfect day.
Hmm.
And, you know, it was a genuine statement. It wasn't me trying to be nice to someone or, you know, take care of someone. I just did what I wanted to do all day. And, you know, the friend that I made, it ended up being a really lovely day for her too. She went
Nice.
out of her way to make my day nice and ended up having a beautiful day herself. So I think it kind of, it impacts each other, you know, when you have that kind of energy. So
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, I had
I have,
lobster rolls on the beach last night.
Oh my God, I love
Nice.
lobster rolls.
Yeah,
Wow.
The
yeah,
best are in
yeah.
Naples, I gotta say.
I hope
Yeah,
you
well, and the
enjoyed your
lobstermen
time.
just brought it up and they made it fresh and brought it out to us. Really
Hmm.
nice.
Hmm.
Um,
I
I like
have,
what you said about, hold on real quick. Like what you said about manifesting your path to joy. I don't know if anybody
Mhm.
manifesting your path to joy. And this is what we are here to do, is to help people create
oh yeah.
their path,
Mhm.
your own personal path to joy, because my joy is different than Milan's joy, than Ryan's joy, and Monty and Jenna's and Kat. You know, our joys are completely different, yet we are here to help people find their own joy and their own path.
We share a lot of the same too.
Yeah, yes, we do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's like is it polarity? Is that right? The total.
The opposite, the law
I
of
think.
polarity.
I love it when I can toss the word up and everybody can just when they're just everybody
Yeah,
gets it.
they
Okay.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it.
wonderful.
I'm gonna say something real quickly because if I have to bow out, but one
Mhm.
thing I thought about too, Selena, what you're saying about, you know, creating a path to personal joy. You know, I was thinking that yesterday, my friend, you know, I don't know Maine at all, and she said, "Let's, you know, go to this beach and we'll walk on this path." And I followed her on that path, you know, and I walked with
Mhm.
her on that path. And
Yes.
it was a beautiful path, but I trusted her, you know, not to take me astray, you know, to help me find the day that I was looking for. There's the airport in the background. The
Why did
day
you
that I
do
was
that?
looking for, and a path, you know, to joy and fun. And it was. I mean, I just let it unfold. And having a friend, you know, having someone to find the path for me and make the path for me made it so much more enjoyable. I was exploring and I was finding new things on my own, but I had someone, you know, to walk on that path with me and show me the way. And it, those kind of literal examples of what we're doing here
Mhm.
are really
It's really
fun to think
refreshing.
about.
That
Yeah.
is so true, because she knew the
Yes.
way, because she had walked the way before. She walked down the path, so she knew the way, and you trusted. And it's
And
a
Hmm.
big trust factor. Like, you got to
Yeah.
trust your own intuition. You got to trust that this person is not going to lead you astray.
mhm.
Total stranger, right? You just met.
Yeah.
You got to have
Read energy,
faith.
the law of
Yeah, and she
vibration,
showed me so many
right?
beautiful things that I never would have found on my own. You know, to so to have that companion to kind of reveal that beauty
Absolutely.
and, you know, those things that we
That's what
can't
Bob
necessarily
Proctor
find
did
on
for
our
me,
own.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
He did, Jenna. You're a witness, so it's like I get everything that you just said. It becomes a greater experience, and you clearly are functioning on a really high frequency. You're speaking on like an extremely high frequency, and it's probably because you're flying, and you're higher than normal in the air. I don't know,
I
but it's
feel when
great,
I'm flying, my vibes are so high up in the air. That's why I love to fly.
right? And
Yeah.
I get that. Hi, Milan.
Hi,
How you doing?
good. No,
Uh,
when Jenna was talking about that, I was thinking about it too. There was an instance on my honeymoon when we were in Canada, and we were looking at a bird sanctuary, and some woman let us know, like, hey, did you know that there are the I think Canada's most the fastest rapids in this entire country, and it goes 70 miles an hour, and you can just walk alongside of them. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's
Nope.
like, yeah, a lot of people don't know about it. It's just over here, and they take you down and they guide you, and it's wheelchair friendly, because at the time I was still using that, and it just opened up such an amazing experience. And like Jenna said, it's tangible examples like that that remind you that there are people readily available to help expand your world.
And they just pop up.
And they just pop up, and it has to do a lot with the expectations that I have, that my wife and I have about the world, because we see that the world is for us. And the things that we meditate on are good things, like Ryan was talking about, that our mind goes towards what we would like, and we just kind of just let go of how we're going to get there, and we manipulate the energy within ourselves, and that just produces these outward experiences that just, when we tell people about like our lives and even about that trip to Niagara, we tell them like, oh, we did this and we did that and we saw these rapids. They're like, where are there rapids in Niagara? And where is it safe? And it's just our expectations just produce those things in our life all the time. And that's why, us all having different visions and different things that excite us still allow us to utilize the same tools in order to manifest those great things, because the tools are universal. Being able to visualize is universal. Being able to speak about your world in a positive way is universal. Being able to, align yourself with people like us to help show you the way until you can make the way for yourself and others is universal.
It's universal.
And it's, if it wasn't available to everybody, then it would just be, it wouldn't be nearly as awesome of a power. And I'm super thankful for it, for the energy, being able to manipulate my own energy, and like Ryan said, to see that goodness, and to meditate and to visualize what I wanted, because that's what took me from a C4 quadriplegic to walking. That's what took me from,
excuse me, sir.
Myself. Hold on a second.
Could you say that again for the people in the back?
That's what took me from a C4 quadriplegic to walking. And that's what took me from, the young doubting kid wondering if I could get a master's degree in a foreign language to having a master's degree in a foreign language. And it just allowed me to just move throughout my world and just create things awesomely as I go along, and that's really what it's about, is just creating the world that you think is awesome. And when you have the right tools, it's so much easier to do, and your expectations go through the roof every time you do it.
Especially when we come together as a collective too. I feel like even if our visions are different, we all compound on each other,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And help fill in the gaps, because I don't know everything. There's been things that I learned from Monty and Celine and Jenna, and from Kat and from Ryan and from so many other people. We quote Bob and we quote Neville Goddard and we quote even the Bible, because we learned from it, and it's useful, and it's real practical knowledge that, we help other people and help ourselves to make our own way and make a way together.
I love what you shared, and I did overtalk you because I get excited, and
I forget how amazing it is to just break your neck and then start walking again.
So I want people to hear it, and I love it so much that I want to speak just briefly about our highest self, the highest side of our personality, which is spirit. Do you agree with that, Milan?
Yes, definitely.
And you, may I ask, were you forced to switch from the physical side, which is our lowest self, which is, where we totally operate from most of the time? We're conditioned to operate from the physical, I think. And so would you say that you decided, because I am no longer able, so they say, to deal with this physical, I'm going to go spiritual and cause the physical to work?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, at the time, I did not know that focusing my thoughts and my words and really just creating this inner story and dialogue, I didn't know that that was the catalyst to change my outer world. I
Mm.
just knew that that made me feel good. It made me feel good, and
Mm.
it seemed real in my head, and
Wow.
it seemed like it really was the only option I had left. And is if that didn't work, I didn't know what would.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen overnight. Like Celine said, like it's a daily thing, and it's a constant meditation of ridding myself of negativity and ridding myself of the things that were not conducive.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got rid of them and found out, like, why am I thinking this way? Why do I doubt myself? Once I figured those things out, then doors just started opening up. And like
Mm-hmm.
my network opened up and my skills broadened and my body came back, and it just started, this beautiful domino effect that hasn't stopped yet.
Very
And
beautiful.
it won't
Very
stop.
beautiful domino effect. And
Yeah.
I'm privileged to be in the presence of all of you. And Milan, I'm extremely privileged to call you friend. And I just want to sort of say that we are created beings, and there's nothing we can't do. Our frequencies and our vibrations are limitless. Now, chew on that. Think on that. Anybody that watches this, our frequencies and our vibrations are limitless. So why choose to settle here, right? And that's where you start to meditate and manipulate and manifest. Ryan, you said something earlier, and I wish I could remember what it was, but it was really good, and I really liked it. So, could you say some more stuff?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what specifically you're talking about, but I would like to talk about the importance of a vision and laying a roadmap for yourself. It kind of goes with Mariposa's, where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. Uh, I just think it's very important to visualize the end goal, as well as manifest it by telling yourself every morning and night, writing down your goals, and really creating that roadmap for you. Because if you don't have a vision, or if you don't have goals, then you're kind of walking around aimlessly. You're just stuck in the day to day. You're stuck in a rut, really. With no that awareness we were talking about last week. Like, if you don't focus your energy to what you want and where you want to be, uh, you're really just going to stay stuck. So I think all of us, we really urge you to take a time and at least write down one goal. Today, write down one goal today, and
Yes.
and just read it aloud before you go to bed. If you don't take anything out, at least do that one thing, and hopefully, that'll encourage you to do it every single day. Because it said if you write your goals down and say them every morning and night, they must come to fruition. Once you get that emotion and connection towards those goals and visualizations. Uh, and like Mariposa was saying earlier, all of our thoughts become images. We put images in our head. So another good way that I've personally found is, as far as your goals, also maybe having a photo correlation to your goal. Like if you want a certain house, have a picture of that house, and
Vision board.
and yeah, wake up and look at that house and just imagine yourself there, and then that creates a roadmap for you and a way. You're creating your own way. we're
Away.
we
Yes.
I was
Correct.
imagining earlier, if you're walking down a trail, and every step you're putting a brick underneath your foot. It's like you're creating your own path. But
Mhm.
if you're focused on yesterday and last month, and even today, you're just going to be looking down, putting bricks. You're not going to know where you're going. But if you're looking way down the horizon, then you're going to see that, oh, I want to go that way. That's what I want. I want to reach that. So it's like, maybe you even create a shortcut, to that place, instead of going, whichever way that life is going to take you. If you do it on purpose, then you'll be able to uh, see where you want to go, and make your way there.
Yeah, I like that you said on purpose, because I don't think a lot of a lot of us, and I used to be guilty of it as well, is just I wasn't living on purpose. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
had interests in different things and I was doing different things, but I didn't really have an end goal. There was no real burning desire. There was no real clear direction. I was just open to trying new things. And sometimes that's good, you know, to see where you fit and try new things. It's also really important to, you know, once you have information, to just not just live your life, but observe your life and ask yourself, you know, what is it that really excites me? What is it that I would really love to have, or how would I really love to be? And for me, it's really almost like your character building. Like if you were writing a movie script and you only had one character, and that character was you, what would that character do? You know, where would they live? What would they say? Where would they go? And having
Totally
that
the
character,
star.
right? Because you know, essentially, you're not just building your world; you're building yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really, you know, becomes a lot more than just, you know, manifesting. Because I think people hear that word a lot. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes more of a self-love story, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, like Jenna teaches, it's the hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're the hero in your life, and as the hero, you know, it's up to you to utilize these tools. It's up to you to learn from people. It's up to you to say yes to yourself constantly, so that
Mm-hmm.
you're just constantly creating greatness. And it's, you know, we all know the feeling that we get when we're around someone that loves themselves and
Mm-hmm.
that is successful in whatever they're doing. You know, whether it's growing tulips or it's building bridges or it's, you know, it's being
Mm-hmm.
on a TV show called The Waymakers.
Hey.
You're around people that are living on purpose, and
Mm-hmm.
their journey is on purpose. It just, the feeling is so exciting and so inviting, because I think
Mm-hmm.
all of us recognize that as truth. And you know, we're all expressing ourselves fully, we're all expanding to greatness, and that gives us the fullness that everyone feels, and it allows us to overflow with these gifts and this knowledge and this joy to other people, so that we can build other people up. Because that's really our whole goal for the Waymakers, is just to show
Mm-hmm.
other people that they can make their own way. And you know, wherever that leads you, fantastic.
Yeah, we just want to provide um, an infinitive, like the infinity loop, an infinitive circulation of positivity, of accountability, of opportunity. Um, Mariposa and Jenna, I like it when you two say stuff. Mariposa, take it away.
I'll let Jenna go because she has something really exciting, I could tell.
Oh, look.
Oh
Yeah.
no, no, I'm just listening. I'm just smiling because I'm just enjoying listening to all of you so much, and everything you're saying. I learn every morning from you. But no, I'm just jiggling around here. I'm and I do have to go pretty soon to board the plane, but you know, Milan, you talk about the hero's journey, and it's something that I teach. And one of the things that I do is called, a journey journal, where you go through and you think about how, where your journey began, what your first call to adventure was. Like when you were little, what was it that your heart desired? What did you want to be? What did you want to do? And how did that kind of disappear or get distracted or get sidetracked on that journey because of just all of the things that happen in life, through no fault of your own, but what happened in your life that kind of moved you from that childlike wonder and that excitement. And in the hero's journey, you start in your ordinary world. And I think this is a critical piece to think about with the hero's journey, is that you start in your ordinary world. That's everything that you know. It's everything that you're born into, that's in your community that surrounds you. Every hero meets people on their journey that helps them to step from their ordinary world into a special world. And it's in that special world where they find their purpose, where they seize the sword, of the mission, the quest that they're on. And it's where they learn tough lessons, like stepping into the cave, into the darkness, where they have to really question, is this truly what I want to do? Am I truly who I think I am? Do I have the strength? Do I have the capability? And when you step out of that cave into the light and seize that sword, that's when you say, yes, I do. And I think that that's kind of where all of us are on in our journey right now. And it doesn't mean that anyone listening is in, if they're in a different place in their journey, that they're wrong. But what it means is that we can be mentors. You know, we can say, look, you can get here. You can take this sword. You can be
Absolutely.
this powerful person. You know, you can put that, I said suit of power on earlier, but you can step into that power, you know, and then you can be the hero of your own story. And I think it's remarkable. It doesn't matter what age you are. Ryan is young, and he has already learned these lessons, you know, and he's already at that point of, you know, pulling the sword out of the stone and going forward, you know, so it's really cool. But when you leave your ordinary world, that's not easy to do. And that's, I think, where a lot of people are before they begin to learn these lessons, you know, and understand how to vibrate at a different level and understand what it means to manifest, you know, and the laws of attraction, what they truly are. You are in an ordinary world. And in an ordinary world, you're kind of stuck in your own ego. You know, you're kind of stuck with your day to day. And sometimes it takes, you know, having a mentor or having an ally. You know, that's what we see ourselves as to you, as allies, you know, to help you on your journey. And sometimes it's meeting a trickster or a shapeshifter or somebody who really throws a wrench in your works, you know, to make you think about, you know, stepping in to that other world. And so many heroes, if I mean any hero's journey, any story, any movie, any book that you've read, you know, a lot of them follow that hero's journey narrative. And so many of them miss, you know, the first calls to adventure, or they refuse the calls to adventure. And, you know, there's always another chance. I think that's what's really, really cool. And it's something I think Mariposa and I can really speak to, maybe most significantly, is that, you know, we took what we thought was a call to adventure and it ended up putting us into, you know, an abusive situation or a bad relationship, or, you know, something that really was not a call to adventure. It was a distraction from that call to adventure. But it comes around again. If you listen, if you're willing to keep moving forward, to get up, dust yourself off, and keep going like Milan did. I mean, Milan physically, you know, was knocked from his path and, you know, was held in a place where he could have disappeared into that darkness and into sadness and into self-pity, and he didn't. You know, he didn't wallow in self-pity. I'm sure there were moments, and still are, where he gets discouraged, but he is so capable. Monty, he is so capable, you know, of picking himself up and dusting himself off, literally. I mean, we get so excited, Milan, when you know, are standing in the meetings and you're talking about, you know, how hard you work. And, you know, I think that it's exciting to see people who, despite the obstacles, you know, keep going. And I hope that that's what we can be to everyone watching. I hope that wherever you're at in that journey, you know, that we can be those allies, we can be those mentors, and, you know, we can hold your hand on that path and take you, like my friend did yesterday, you know, to beautiful places, to see things that
Yes.
maybe you wouldn't have seen, you know, without that friendship, without that waymaker.
Absolutely. And I totally relate with that, because sometimes you need somebody to come in and challenge your thoughts, to challenge the way that you feel or you think, because again, since we were kids, there was the programs were set down for us and we just followed, right? When we just get into that automated role where we're just autopilot, and this is truth, 96% of everything we do is automatic. Like if you think about it, you get up around the same time every day, you do the exact same thing every day. You go to sleep on the same side of the bed, you get into your car the same type of manner, you take the same route to work, you open with your left and you do with your right the exact same, right? And this is by design. I mean, we're designed to do the things that are easy automatically so we can leave our mind and our consciousness to higher thinking and other things. But when you have someone that can show you a different way and mentor you, like I've had mentors and coaches and people that I follow that I learned from, to say, okay, if they can do it, then I can do it too. And so I started to change those patterns and programs one by one, one by one. It's like peeling this onion, right? There's so many layers. And I loved everything that Jenna said, because you get the choice to make a different decision at any time, and to choose yourself, to choose your journey, to choose a different way of thinking, which we know thoughts turn into things.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts are energy. You can the vibration of thoughts, every thought has a different energy. So we're all on this plane of energy, and like energy attracts like energy. So when you change the frequency or the vibration of your thinking, you will attract by law. Like, this is like the law of gravity. You don't know how it works, but it works. If you jump off a building, you're going to go down, right? If you drop an apple from a tree, it falls, right? So it's the law of gravity. You don't know how it works, but it works. Same thing with the law of the universe, law of vibration, law of attraction. It works. So if you want to change the path, your path, you want to, one, become aware. Step number one, the path that you want to choose a different path, and then design the end state, right? So 2. And then 3, get a mentor or a community of support that can help you get to the end state. That's super important.
Get 5 mentors. Because guess what? Mariposa, you just hit the nail on the head. We want to be your support system because we would like to help you further develop your intellect while we collectively further develop our intellect as a team, as a unit, as a light, as a guide for people who probably otherwise wouldn't be able to afford that guidance and that mentorship. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
Seems like you got something planned there, Monty.
Yeah, I was thinking of it, and then I said, well, I'm not going to say it, but I do want to say this thing. When you use your energy, that is your attention, what you give your attention to, this is just piggybacking on what Mariposa said. When you use your energy as attention, and then you give this energy attention to something, make sure that your intentions are in alignment with everything great for you, right? I think I said that the way I wanted to say it. Yes, I think so.
I think so too.
And please, thanks. Anyone else? Did I do great?
You did. I think, are you going to do a card to close us out today?
Oh, you know what? It is a really nice time to explain to everyone that we, this collective, Waymakers Global, we decided that we are going to channel all positivity. We're going to summon greatness. We are going to, on purpose, on repeat, make things great for everyone. So I have these cards, and our team, we love these. They are Money and the Law of Attraction cards. Money and the Law of Attraction from Esther and Jerry Hicks. So what we do is I shuffle, and someone chooses to tell me when to stop, and then I'll read.
Go right. Stop. We couldn't hear you.
So I saw your lips move though, so
Yes.
you were muted, but we're on it, buddy.
Fair enough. Your right hand.
Right hand.
Yep.
Okay. Now, friends, be sure to take a great look at this other card because we don't want to miss anything, right? So we'll take the one that you chose, and then of course we'll not let him miss out on anything else. So this card, let's have a look at it. Okay. And this card reads, my life is as good as I allow it to be. Oh, well, let's get it started then, right? My life is as good as I allow it to be. Many people focus upon unwanted things, with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them. All true story. OMG. Right? So I'm gonna have to start over because I may need my inhaler. Okay. Many people focus upon unwanted things with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance within them. And then they try to compensate for their lackful thinking with physical action. And because of this misalignment of energy, they do not get results from their action. So then they try harder by offering more action, but still things do not improve. Like the air you breathe, abundance in all things is available to you. Your life will simply be as good as you allow it to be. Could somebody screenshot this for
That's on
everybody
point.
who needs help
Yeah.
reading? Because I
You can
want
post
to.
it in the group, Monty.
Yeah, post it in the group.
Look at that.
And
Look
then
at
we'll all
me.
add our 2 cents. And this is exactly what we talked about, right? Is having all these thoughts and just like focusing your energy on one, and your energy will flow to that. But really listening to your intuition and to your gut. What does your heart want? What is the path to joy for you? And that's kind of like our biggest guide, right? Is your heart. I'm actually doing a heart opening event tomorrow to help open the heart, because a lot of times our hearts have been clogged up, literally and figuratively, right? Been clogged by all this negative stuff and all the bad relationships or things that happen in life, and we just shut it down and don't listen to our intuition and our heart. What is, you got the next card? Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, I think that one just really like Milan was like, oh boy, that's on point. Whoa, right? It was just that, and that was kind of like it moved me in a great way. Here's the other one. So this was the back of it as I showed you earlier. Here's the front. No cap. Read this.
I have control over the thoughts, I think.
Would you please help me, Lord? Since you have control over the thoughts you offer, what could be more just than the powerful law of attraction responding equally to everyone who offers a vibration? Once you gain control over the thoughts you think, your sense of injustice will subside and will be replaced with the exuberance for life and the zest to create that you were born with. Let everything in the universe be an example to you of the way the laws of the universe work.
Nice.
Just amazing. That's a great way to end the show with that, is that we do have control over it. I didn't think I had control over my thoughts, but I absolutely do.
I remember when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's true. I remember when I was a kid. I mean, not that I'm not still a kid. You guys can tell I'm barely in my 20s. So, so I remember Bob Proctor told me, he says, Monty, you're an unconscious competent. And I'm like, oh, why do you say that? And he says, well, how many times when you were a child did you get yourself out of anything you didn't want to be in? And I told him, Bob, I did that all the time. He said, yes, I know. You're an unconscious competent. I wish that I could have gotten hold of my thoughts earlier, but since I didn't, I learned the lesson of my purpose. Part of my purpose is to help you, whoever you are, take the shortcut, the fast track.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
And see the
Exactly.
beauty on the way. Yeah.
You know, us as a collective want to help move you towards success. So please join our community subscription. You know, we'll be on live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and also check out our Facebook for links to the Law of Attraction cards, books, and resources that we've all used in our path to help move us towards success. So we want to take you along with us. We'll see you next week, and
We
Have a
start
great
Monday. We go live
Monday.
Yeah.
I
Monday,
love it.
Wednesday, and Friday. For
I
our
love it. Where can they
subscribers.
find the link, Ryan? Where can they actually find the link? Can you
Link for
We'll drop the link to the subscription
Thank you.
beneath this in the group chat.
Wow.
in our Facebook group.
All right, everyone. And their Facebook group. And then, of course, we can always send it. So let us know.
Yes.
Bye.
And as long as I have a wonderful weekend.
Have a safe
Yes.
trip, Jenna.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thanks,
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you
Happy,
for
happy.
joining.